What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to Friday morning football card buying and selling advice analysis. Whoo, man, we are here, guys. Week one, last night's game was pretty incredible. The Buffalo Bills absolutely smashed the Los Angeles Rams in their house. That was fun to watch, but there's a lot to get to, guys. There's a lot to get to. There's a lot of takeaways from that game, and I want to cover here. Look at the latest market activity. What's up, Derek Richard? Shout out to Derek Richard with the Trey Lance in the chats. So let's go ahead. What's going on? Kyle Quad 4 in the chats. So when we talk about the actual production of these guys outperforming what their expectations are, we're going to first and foremost focus on those players, and a lot of them are from the Buffalo Bills because they come away with a big victory here. So let's look at the latest market activity, see how high we think some of these cards could possibly get up to going through our comping or comparing process of sold items and going throughout the draft class, right? So let's look at that. Let's talk about our mailbags. We got some good questions in the mailbag talking about college uniform cards. Had a good question from Billy out there about that. Also have a question here from Derek in the Discord we'll get to here in a little bit. And any other live questions that you guys have here, throw them up in the chat. We're going to get to them this morning. Let's dig in, guys. What's going on, Shant? I'll hit you up with about some Kadarius Toney here in a little bit. What's going on, AB? Good morning, Mark. Good morning, AB. Good morning, guys. All right, so let's dig in. Most of you guys are probably awake out there, but if you're not, Now you are. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And the first and foremost, right, we got to talk about Josh Allen because he way exceeded his expectations in this game, putting up 33.48 fantasy points, going 26 for 31, 112 quarterback rating, and threw 2 interceptions, but you could argue that neither one of those were his fault. So the long touchdown pass of 53 yards. Gabe Davis coming up with a big play. Stefan Diggs coming up with a big play in this game, both having massive plays, massive splash plays. So first and foremost, when we look at Josh Allen's cards, like how high could Josh Allen's cards get to? I mean, we could be looking at a year where Josh Allen does run away with the MVP if they continue to play like they did last night, making that Rams defense not look so good, man. They are incredible. So, you know, Josh Allen's expectations heading into this game was 23.8. It was pretty high, but he went out and put up 33.48. So he overseed the expectations. Plus, his team came away with the win. And you can see all of these buy it now transactions popping off this morning. We've got PSA 9 base optics here going for $240, guys. What about a SGC 9 base Donruss card going for about $100? Some of these cards that are very common from lesser desirable sets, you know, selling. Here we have a PSA 10 optic for $550 sold in a buy it now format. So if we were to look at the trend on his optic and look at what that card is doing over the course of the year, ruling out this one anomaly here and just looking at that trend, I mean, this card, let's see, like heading into the season last year, was about $560. We know they lost week 1 to the Steelers. Well, we're in a different story for the Bills already this year. And you can see these $550 transactions popping off yesterday. But it's important for us to compare. I think we're going to have to start comparing Josh Allen to Patrick Mahomes. And it's not really comparable, but you're going to have to start doing it that way to get an idea of what Josh Allen's cards can go up to. We're gonna have to find something comparable. You can't compare 2017 Patrick Mahomes Prism to Josh Allen's base Prism, and you can't compare Patrick Mahomes Prism to Josh Allen's Prism Silver because Josh Allen's Prism Silver is way more rare. Patrick Mahomes is a little bit more common, but it's more rare than Josh Allen's base Prism, if that makes sense. So we've got to find a common ground there. And I would say that optic is a good place to start because we do have commonalities there between 2017, 2018 with the rated rookie logo and the base optic format. So I would say optic is a really good place to start. So that's what I'm going to do here is pull up a chart. Should have had this prepared, but appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the fly this morning. We're here, y'all. We are here in week 1. So let's see. PSA, optic, Patrick Mahomes, base. There we go. Okay. All right. That card currently is about $880 with a pop of 3,579. All right. Let's add in here the 2018 optic Josh Allen PSA. And we've got his. We want to make sure that's the base. All right, there we go. All right, and that card's $550. So, I mean, I think that what's the pop on that? And it's got half of the population report. So there's definitely going to be some more optic Josh Allen cards probably submitted to PSA. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Patrick Mahomes this weekend. I do think they beat the Arizona Cardinals, so we'll see what actually happens to Patrick Mahomes' cards. Do they go up if they win this game in exceeding expectation fashion? Do his cards continue to rise? Obviously, we can see that there definitely could be further rise in Josh Allen's cards. I think you've got to start making this comparison. This is going to be the closest thing I think we can compare between 2017 Patrick Mahomes and 2018 Josh Allen. Is looking at his optic and PSA 10. Just has a lot of transactions, and so we're able to gauge quickly using our Keep 'em app some trends and where those cards are currently at. So yeah, man, that's out of my budget range. So why don't we look at Gabe Davis and talk about him, because he way exceeded expectations in this game as well. We only had him for 11.7 fantasy points. He puts up 18.8, but what's more interesting is that he scored the game's first touchdown on that play action fake from Josh Allen, which was just perfect, and he was absolutely wide open. But Gabe Davis played every single snap for the Bills on offense except for the very end when they did the kneel down. Therefore, guys, he needs to be prioritized over Stefan Diggs. I know Stefan Diggs had the monster game, but Stefan Diggs had only about a 50 to 60% snap share in this game. Now, he did put up 29.2 fantasy points, but, just looking at the usage, because usage is correlated into the amount of targets that they get, right? When Gabe Davis is on the field virtually 100% of the time, that's just going to lead to more opportunities, more receptions, more touchdowns. And Stefan Diggs was only on the field about 60% of the time. It was just interesting observation from week 1. But if you're a Gabriel Davis owner out there, you've got to be excited about this. You're obviously seeing, I counted up over 120 buy it now sold transactions for Gabe Davis this morning, last night. So his cards are absolutely popping off. The question I want to ask myself, like, look at this right here. Holy cow, man, this is expensive. We're starting to get up into some elite skill position 2020 price territory here. Depending on how much this card sold for. Let's see what this person accepted the offer at if we pop over to 130point.com, because this is a optic hollow that does have an on-card autograph numbered out of 99, but man, this is something that, I mean, depending on where this sold at, this is pretty wild. Some of the prices that people are spending on the Gabe Davis this morning. Let's go ahead and search this up over on 130point.com to get that best offer accepted price. $150. Wow. So that's incredible, man. So definitely that person took a fairly low offer compared to what they had it listed at, but I think 250 was really high in the first place. And okay, so here's something interesting. I want you guys to notice September 2nd, August 31st, what Gabe Davis's optic hollow was selling at. $5, $6. All right. I want to look at what it's selling at now. You can see any low-hanging fruit for Gabe Davis is just being picked off of the trees, in a sense, where people are just popping on and buying it now. Like a lot of these are all buy it now transactions. But I want to look at his optic hollow, go back and find one of his optic hollows. There's a blue checkerboard right there. Even a base field levels, those are selling for $5. Cards that, you may not see sell for a lot of guys just because of how common they are and how many of them there are in the marketplace. They are now being sold for Gabe Davis at from those entry level buyers that just want to get a slice of the Gabe Davis supply out there. So black prism silver is about 13, 14. So I kind of put those in the same category as an optic hollow. But I was watching some optic hollow prices, and we'll keep scrolling. Here we go. Here's 13, 15, 1950, 15, 18. So yeah, people were buying those last night / this morning late for $20 a pop. Look at all these transactions on his optic hollow, right around $20. So obviously the optic hollow, you can tell these are very liquid. I was actually watching these after the game. I went on to eBay and looked up the sold transactions. So I know that based on the kind of the selling time frame, this was after the game last night, late last night. It was around 11:30 midnight. And so that's a triple, a 3 times increase in the value of his optic hollow. And that tells me also that optic hollows are one of the most liquid cards, I would say, because they're a little bit more common, especially for 2020. They're more common than the prism silver, but yet they still have that silver prism finish. So they still have that SP or short print quality to it. It has that rated rookie logo, the chrome finish, silver prism finish. These cards are great if you can find these for skill position guys that you're bullish about exceeding expectations and their teams are going on to win, just like Gabe Davis did last night. Then I would absolutely buy those in that $5 to $10 range and expect to turn around and sell those for $20, because now at this point, with all of these gone, you're going to see an even higher price tier, and it'll be interesting to see what people will reach throughout the week, right? Like now, when somebody goes on to eBay to buy a Gabe Davis, are they going to buy this one listed at $25.99? So that's something interesting to watch that we'll watch throughout the week. Like this one ending tonight at 8:30. We'll see what it ends at. It's currently at $3.25. It looks like a DC Sports 87 listing, and it's got good centering, and it looks sharp from the little thumbnail without me actually clicking into it. We'll see what that one ends at, because I think that'll be very interesting observation. If we pop over to Stefan Diggs, I'll see you guys out there in the chat. I'm gonna get to some of those questions and talk about some of the games this weekend, some of the other questions in the mailbag here just a second. If you guys are just popping in, good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome back, or welcome to the Football Card Quest. We're talking all things football card investing and collecting. Make sure you hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. So looking at Stefan Diggs, again, way exceeded expectations in this game. Monster fantasy performance from this game. If you drafted Stefan Diggs late in the first round of fantasy drafts or second round, you were extremely happy. I mean, we've been beating the drum for Stefan Diggs pretty much all offseason, but it was interesting that he did only have about a 60% snap share. That's the only thing. Like from a usage standpoint, at least he was getting the targets, the receptions, like the high value stuff. It was either him or Gabe Davis, and then you had one Isaiah McKenzie touchdown. But Stefan Diggs putting up 29.2 fantasy points when he was only expected to put up 14.4, plus his team wins. We're seeing a lot of transactions for him as well. And what's interesting to note here is you see this morning, these first 3 buy it now transactions are all 2015 rookie product, just like random stuff. I would say maybe the Topps Platinum X Fractor is not super random, but it's not one of those super desirable sets. It's nowhere near a Topps Chrome or even a Topps Finest from 2015. Topps Platinum is kind of reviewed as like a Panini Phoenix or, something like that. And so as we go down here, you can see some of these other things. But what's interesting is look at this, 2021 certified out of 50. It's Stefan Diggs in the Bills uniform, man. So absolutely want to take that into consideration when you're looking at some more of these veteran guys. Prime example, some guys that have changed teams. It'll be interesting to see when their cards come out of them in their new team uniforms. but any veteran player that's good, that has changed teams within the last 2 years, should already have product out of them in their new team uniforms, and that those definitely become targets, especially when you factor in the scarcity. See, both of these cards are numbered out of 50, and they're selling, pretty decently. And I'm sure they're cards that a lot of people aren't on, so you could probably find them for relatively cheap whenever the player's not, melting faces like Stefan Diggs did last night. So yeah, a lot of transactions, man. A lot of transactions here. Stefan Diggs definitely. See, it'll be interesting to see where his cards go in terms of, like, this prism is way off center. Someone still paid $13.50 for a card that off center. That's pretty wild, man. A couple jerseys sold there. Let's see what that is. That's a 3 out of 5. Stefan Diggs and Teddy Bridgewater. Here we have a 2021 Premier Slot, just 99-cent transaction. But yeah, you definitely see the demand there for the Bills stuff. People want to get them on some Bills. Now, talking about the running backs, Devin Singletary, clearly the RB1, exceeded expectations. Zach Moss, RB2, exceeded expectations. James Cook ended up with a negative 0.8 fantasy points because with the one carry that he got, he fumbled the ball. He played one snap in the first half and fumbled on the play. So I think if you got him, like, don't panic. Like, you got to hold it, right? He's going to have a little bit longer leash. He's a rookie. He's still Dalvin Cook's little brother. So there's that whole name recognition there. He's part of the Bills offense. So give him time. I think he's got to put those gloves on all the way. I noticed he did not have his gloves like Velcroed up, and hey man, gotta secure that ball. But it was the Devin Singletary show. It wasn't a monster performance by any stretch of the imagination. He only exceeded expectations by a couple points, and it's not like the focal point of the Bills offense is the running backs. It's definitely on Gabe Davis, Stefan Diggs, but it's just worth noting that in terms of usage, Devin Singletary got a lot of uses. Like, if I was looking at the Buffalo Bills running back usage, Devin Singletary got all the goal line work. Devin Singletary got all the 2-minute drill work. Devin Singletary got 75% of the third down work. Devin Singletary got 50% of the early down work and over 50% of the entire game. So in short yardage situations, it was Zach Moss. And Zach Moss also had about a 25% snap share on third downs, and he had about a 35% usage on all downs and early downs. So he's definitely relevant. You saw him even catch some passes. So they're kind of using these backs interchangeably. It's definitely, and right now, both these guys have the hot hand. They both look solid. So they're going to, I think it's probably going to be a little bit of a red shirt experience from now on for James Cook, especially at that fumble last night. We didn't see him at all after that. So, interesting to note. On the Rams side, though, obviously Cooper Kupp exceeded expectations. You may see some transactions popping off for him just because, he had a really nice toe tap touchdown in the back of the end zone. He got, like 130 receiving yards. Cooper Kupp did his part. Matt Stafford had a couple ugly interceptions in this game. One where he tried to do his famous no look and overthrew Cooper Kupp and went into the hands of I think it was Jordan Poyer, and that was one of the interceptions. But they definitely need to clean up that game. Like, Allen Robinson was not involved at all. Allen Robinson literally only had 2 targets, but what's interesting here from a usage standpoint is that Allen Robinson was on the field virtually the entire game. 64 out of 67 possible snaps, Allen Robinson was on the field. Cooper Kupp was on the field 100% of the game. So I think we could definitely see some, additional transaction for Cooper Kupp. There's going to be a little bit longer leash because this team is the reigning Super Bowl champ or defending Super Bowl champ. So a little bit longer leash for him. Darrell Henderson, though, definitely took a step forward in his usage. He was on the field about 90%, 55 out of 67 snaps were Darrell Henderson. 12 were Cam Akers. So from a usage standpoint, it was Darrell Henderson, goal line, Darrell Henderson, early downs, Darrell Henderson, all plays, short yardage, third down, 2-minute drills. It was 80, 90%, off the top of my head, doing that math, 55 to 12, Darrell Henderson. Cam Akers, virtually non-existent in this game, ran 10 routes, only had 3 carries. None of them were efficient at all. And if I look at the actual production from Darrell Henderson in this game, five receptions, 26 yards. And in terms of carries, Darrell Henderson, 13 carries for 47 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, but that's better than Cam Akers, 0 yards on 3 carries. So Darrell Henderson did have an 18-yard long run, and you can see the transactions. I mean, obviously his cards are going to be very cheap, like Gold Dika, Donruss out of 25 for, best offer accepted. Like, they're really cheap, but people are definitely, their eyes are opened a little bit more to Darrell Henderson's usage compared to Cam Akers' usage. So it'll be interesting to see, what this backfield looks like going forward. But right now it's the Darrell Henderson show, guys, and Cam Akers is not looking so good, man. Not looking so good. I'm obviously, you can't panic. The worst thing you want to do is do a fire sale on a player after a game like that. That's not what you want to do. You just got to hold them. That's the beautiful thing about cards. Player gets hurt, player's not getting the usage that you want to see. They're not getting the opportunity that they could potentially convert into some production. Their team's losing. You just got to hold those cards. Same thing with Allen Robinson. Just got to hold those cards. Now, if somebody obviously is buying them for whatever reason, then, I would accept an offer at 80 to 90%, but otherwise you just got to hold those cards and see if they can get back to it. 402, good morning. What's up, JJ Bama? Awesome. Look at so there you have it. Tuckleberry Fence is his best-selling card by far has been the Optic Hollow. Yeah, I would agree with you. And that's why I talked about yesterday's video, I talked about Trey Lance's Optic Hollows having value because they're right now lower than what Trevor Lawrence's are at. And Trey Lance has a smash spot this weekend against the Chicago Bears. And then next weekend they have another really good matchup. And I think that the 49ers can easily go 2-0, whereas Trevor Lawrence to go 2-0 or 3-0 after maybe they beat the Commanders this weekend, but then they have the Colts. For him to exceed expectations like that and to also stack up wins early this season, it's going to be incredibly difficult. What's good, Brad Moore? So one of the questions I got from Billy in the Discord was about these legacy cards. And his question is, are these 2022 legacy cards going to lose value once the pro uniform cards come out? And, his example was actually a Kenny Pickett. So I'm going to pull over this example that he sent me because, let's see, that's really tiny, but we'll blow it up. Let's blow it up. There we go. So this card is serial numbered. It's like a bronze pink. And I think this card specifically will do okay. And this is why, because it's got this massive rookie text over the middle. It's got the rookie card logo. Kenny Pickett's he could potentially become a hometown hero, right? I mean, he's got the hometown boy story, going to college at Pitt and staying there for the extra year and putting up all that impressive production. And now he's overcoming adversity with his tiny hands and everything and all the knocks on him throughout the draft process. And, now he may potentially start sooner rather than later for the Steelers. And this has that Steelers emblem, that Steelers logo in the bottom right. That's important to me. That is very important. When you've got Pitt up here, you've got Steelers logo here and this rookie card shield. These two things are massively important. And then there's one more thing about this card that's really important that I think will help it hold value longer term. And that's a serial number right there. So this card's also numbered out of 50. So, this is one of those cards that you're going to hold until Kenny Pickett gets his first start. And that may be a really nice time. It will be a really nice time. What I'm trying to say is that maybe is maybe his peak, maybe his peak, because we've seen only very small sample sizes of him right now in the preseason. What happens when we see an entire game of him? And what happens when the Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-4 and, now it's just like, let's see what we got in Kenny Pickett. And, he's okay at best, but he's not good enough to really warrant some, prices of this card being a $500 card or this card being a $400 card. But this card does have some great elements that are going to help it hold value long term. Now, if you're looking at other 2022 Chronicle stuff, there's a lot of 2022 Chronicle stuff and even stuff from Legacy that is probably not going to hold value long term because it doesn't have those elements. That's why I say it's really important to look for those elements, man. When you're shopping for rookies, that's why I like the Legacy, because it's got that massive rookie text. It's got the little professional logo. It's got the rookie card shield. Something like this doesn't do as good. Why doesn't this card do as good, this Under the Lights? It's because it doesn't have that pro team logo on it. It may have a rookie card shield. It doesn't have the pro team logo. Some of these more base cards, yeah, these are going to fall by the wayside. These are going to be dollar bin cards, just anything like this that is base college uniform that may sell now. If he did get a start and there wasn't anything else out, this may sell for $5-10. But down the road, when you have Donruss and you have all these other sets out, eventually Optic, Prism, Select, all the major sets, I mean, those base cards are just going to take over because they depict a player in their current pro uniform with the NFL trademarks and the rookie guard logos or rated rookie logos and all that kind of stuff. So, if you're targeting these college uniform cards, it's really important to I'm like, these are quick flip cards for me, right? These are absolutely list them as soon as you get them and take advantage of limited supply and an increased level of hype for these players' breakout appearances in the NFL. That's what it's all about. And so you can do that with quite a few of them. But I'm not buying any of these cards that aren't autographed. I'm big on the autograph because I see those as super liquid. People want to get that player's early rookie autograph, and they'll pretty much buy you. Like, you can even buy Leaf autograph cards that are super cheap. You can buy a variety of different rookie and college uniform autographs and have a really easy time flipping those. I would try and focus on ones that are licensed from Panini. You can see a lot of luminance breaks going down yesterday, so we'd have to kind of focus in the search there. But great question, Billy. Definitely those are going to be okay, but it's all about targeting that scarcity. Oh shoot, man, I had a bad time doing this. Forgot to share my screen throughout that entire process. Hey, what's going on? Hey, good evening, Koala. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Tre'Davious White not out there, injured, made that win even more impressive. I mean, the Bills, the pressure they put up on them from their front seven. The rookie Greg Rousseau had a great game. Von Miller had a great game. I think Von Miller way exceeded expectations. So he's a guy that's really interesting to look at because I guarantee you, what's Von Miller's rookie year? I mean, I'm sure that he is close to Hall of Fame status, if not, like right on the fringe or definitely a lock. 2011, let's see what, like, if people were buying his cards. And this is another situation where people are definitely going to want to get stuff of him in Bill's uniform. All right, well, there's a $9.99 Topps Finest refractor sold transaction this morning. Some off-brand grading company, base Topps. Yeah, base Topps. That's advertises PGA. I thought it said PSA for a second. PGA 10 for $33. Wow. Wow. Here we go. Okay, that's him in the Rams. 2021 Mosaic. Topps Chrome 2011 Topps Chrome rookie, $8 and buy it now. Quite a few transactions popping off for old Vaughn yesterday, man, but he's still wiggling out there, getting to the QB Matt Stafford not very mobile. They definitely put a little nice hurting on him, man. 7 sacks last night. Woo, baby. So his value is definitely going to go down. Yeah, man. Yeah, go back and rewind for earlier in the stream. We did a deep dive on Josh Allen's cards. What's your opinion on Panini Element set? You know, Panini Element is interesting. Shout out to our guy James. He sent me my first Panini card that I had never had one before, and they're very thick. You know, it's like a metallic, almost like a credit card, but a metallic plate. You know, they're very thick cards. They're nice, right? I think that it's really hard to damage the corners and edges on those cards, but there's definitely some surface issues with those cards because of trying to print, you know, laser print colors and graphics and text and all that kind of stuff on a thin metal plate. You can think about how easy that can be to rub off. But so from that sense, like Panini Element does have some interesting elements. Like it's got a rookie card logo. It's going to have those players in their pro uniform, but at the same time, it's just one of those sets that's like very niche. It's not super popular. It's kind of like Spectra, you know, it's kind of like one of those very niche collector sets, but it's not you know, it's hobby only first of all. So there's not a ton of it out there. And you can see that most of it is serial numbered. So that's good. And it does sell. It just doesn't sell like hotcakes, right? I mean, if we were to compare Panini Elements auto out of 199 for Kyle Pitts here, you can see that metal plate and the on-card autographs. Really interesting card. I would say if you've never had a Panini Element card in your hand, I would definitely go buy one just to experience it. Just buy a base one, buy a cheaper one, just to experience what that card feels like. It's very interesting. But when we compare this to, say, a Kyle Pitts 2021 Optic Auto, 2021 Kyle Pitts Optic Auto, we should be able to find one pretty quickly here, unless they're all redemptions Kyle Pitts. Even a redemptions, well, we'll find one that's even a redemption. That's numbered out of 25, so not necessarily super comparable here. Yeah, a lot of these are, wow. A lot of these are going to be redemptions, but okay, even a redemption, which is, we know, is a 4 to 6 month turnaround time to get that card back. I mean, you're talking a difference between $60 on that card out of $199. That one's out of 99, so I thought it was going to be. Here's an Optic rookie ticket, so it's going to be closer. Kyle Pitts making this difficult for me. We'd have to maybe find somebody else. There's so much of his stuff, Jamar Chase stuff, is still redemptions. It drives me crazy because you can't really get a good idea of what those are selling at. Justin Fields Elements 575. That was a couple days ago. Maybe we can find a Justin Fields Optic Auto. Let's see if we can find one. Difficult matchup for Justin Fields. Again, ton of redemptions. Didn't get them to sign those cards like they needed to. So definitely is a price variance there. I probably have to go back another year further and do a 2020 Panini Elements. All the guys I'm finding are redemptions, man. So I'm using a bad example. Maybe Javonte Williams would be a solid example from the 2021 class. Well, I searched 2020. I know I searched 2020. I did search 2020. Why do they put 2020 in their Justin Fields Elements listings? I don't know. Joshua Kelly, man, just not a great sample size to give you some really good numbers. But what I can tell you from experience looking at these, that these are going to sell less for comparable scarcity to other sets the main sets that we talk about: the Prism, the Optic, not necessarily Select or Mosaic, but Prism and Optic. And then we talk about National Treasures, Flawless, Contenders, Rookie Ticket Autos, and Immaculate. Those are the main 5 sets: National Treasures, Immaculate, Flawless, Contenders, Prism, and Optic. Well, I guess that's 6 sets, but that's those are the main ones. Those are the main ones that are going to have the most liquidity, the highest resale value when you're talking like for like scarcity, and jump up the most in value whenever a player breaks out. Pickett's hands are confirmed. Can you confirm if he has a head? I can't confirm. Kenny Pickett does have a head. He's one of the 2022 quarterbacks that does have a head, James. I confirm it. I've seen it. I saw it on the 2022 Legacy earlier. Check it out, man. Did you guys see this? Kenny Pickett confirmed head right there, man. See it? There's a bigger one. Here's the even bigger one. Look at it right there. You guys are having too much fun this morning. Jeez. What's going on, Chris K? You still got that Jamar Chase zebra stripe die cut out there? Spectra RPAs. I don't know why, but they seem easy to move for sure. Spectra RPA, basic white cards. Let's do a 2021 Spectra search. All right. 2021 Spectra search. You know what's interesting about Spectra? A lot of these cards are serial numbered. So a lot of rare cards from Spectra and a lot of really nice designs, especially in 2021. They really stepped up their design. I like it a lot better. Like if I was to go and look at the 2021 design compared to the 2020 design. So if I were to do a 2020 Spectra, and look at the sold items on that. And doing baseball, basketball, football. Yeah, I guess I have to redefine that search there. Okay, yeah, there's a good example of what a lot of the Spectras look like from 2020, which is cool. I mean, it does look cool. Like almost looks like he's like space traveling. But I really like the swirls in the background on the 2021 design more so. Man, once again, I got a lot of baseball over here. I gotta use those filters on the left side of eBay to dial in, y'all. Gotta dial in. Cam Jordan out of 60 for 4. Jamar Chase neon blue out of 60 for 89. And see, that's the thing. Like if you were to look at I wonder if I can find one that's not a freaking redemption, but if you were to look at what a 2021 Prism, let's just look at a 2021 Prism because the photo is terrible, but I bet you it's still gonna, if we were to find a Prism that's numbered out of 60, the resale value is going to be way higher on a Prism. So let's see if we can find one that's close over here on the left. Disco, even the orange disco, it's kind of color matched to the Bengals, so I get that why that's got a little bit higher. His silver Prism is going for $33, $35, which is really good, right? It's higher than Zach Wilson. But Trey Lance's silver Prisms day before, were going for 70. His optic hollows were going for 70 or even lower. Actually, I saw some going for 45, 50. And there's a deal. And I don't know why people are not paying as much for the variation as they are for the base silver Prism. It's pretty interesting to me because from everything that I can see, the variation looks to be more rare than the base one. So there's definitely some interesting stuff going on with that. The hobby's just kind of not viewing it as like the main card. Like they're almost looking at it as like that NFL debut insert from Mosaic or something. Like, if you were to compare what an NFL Mosaic debut card does compared to the base NFL Mosaic rookie card, and then look at what this silver prism variation is to the main silver prism. It's very, very odd indeed. Yeah, just a ton of transactions to wade through here for Jamar Chase to find something. There's a Spectra out of 75 that only sold for 26.05, man. So it just doesn't have that clout. There's one of those silver prism field level cards going for over 100. That's not even serial numbered. That's just short print. So, I mean, to anticipate the print run on that, it's going to be at least 150. I'm guessing somewhere between 150 and 300. Just field level is supposed to be a more, rare. There's a pretty good deal someone got on Optic Hollow. I would definitely buy a $20 or less Optic Hollow for Jamar Chase. Look at what Gabe Davis got to, but Jamar Chase is even younger than him. Obviously, he's got that whole college connection with Joe Burrow, just the whole storyline for Chase and his draft capital and everything that he's got going for him. This card has definitely got some potential. And I think the Bengals are in this little lull right now, right before the season starts. They have potential to just go out and blow people away week 1 against the Steelers. And their defense is really good too. So that's why I can't touch any Steelers players right now. We'll see what happens this weekend. That's definitely one of the big interesting storylines to watch this weekend for sure. But some of these like finding an Optic Hollow Jamar Chase for $15, that's a steal, man. Now I'm not so convinced that these Mosaic silvers for Jamar Chase, but there's a good example of the NFL debut and the Optic Hollow. Centering is definitely important to take into consideration. Just a ton of transactions to slog through here. They have a little bit of definitely a little bit of upward growth because you can see how many cards are just flying off the shelves. But look, here was an Optic Hollow that went for $40 just 4 days ago. So why that one went for 14? I thought the centering looked pretty good from the thumbnail. Maybe there's something else going on with it, or maybe it was the time they ended it, or maybe it was the seller reviews, the seller feedbacks. But you can see here just September 5th, these cards definitely had some more hype in them, some more steam, and these auctions were ending for $30, $40. So, that just tells you that card can get right back up there really quick. Here's the silver prism for 75, September 5th. So September 5th, he was popping off for whatever reason for the relevancy. Maybe that was the day that Joe Burrow came back and was practicing and this and that and beefing back up. And so you can absolutely see these cards, 23. I mean, they have $30 to $40 potential because of how young he is and because of how good he is and the storyline and everything. So, in comparison to the super rare Spectra, I think you'll have a much easier time making profit off of a $15, $20 silver prism or Optic Hollow than you would if you thought okay, I'm going to buy this Spectra. It's super rare. It's numbered out of 60. It looks gorgeous, but I'm spending now $60 to $80 on it. I don't think you have a ton of upward growth for that card. It's just, you probably will end up selling it, but you may hold it for quite a while before someone's wants that Spectra. And it's growing. It's right, I like Spectra, right? I just admitted it looks great. So if I think it looks great and a lot of you guys think it looks great, then it's definitely going to grow on people and it's definitely going to sell, but it's just not going to sell at the same rate as an Optic Hollow rated rookie or a silver prism, kind of thing. And especially at that price point, if I've got it listed for 150, you're going to have a higher difficulty when at 150, now people are going to start looking at, trying to get an autograph card you probably can't get an autograph card, Jamar Chase, for that, but they can get a serial numbered optic card or serial number prism card that maybe color match their team and stuff like that. And it's just, man, it's all about the brand recognition there and the price point at which you get in at. Joseph London says, just wondering because I sniped a Trevor Lawrence Element Gold out of 79 auto for 315. Oh man, yeah, I just get that thing listed immediately, dude. Well, what if they beat the Commanders week 1? Now you have bought yourself a little like a week time period of where there's this Trevor Lawrence hype. But dude, look at the schedule for the Jags. I mean, they have the Colts in week 2. I think it was, who do they have after that? Let's see. Yeah, dude, they had the Colts in week 2, but after that, they got the Chargers and the Eagles. So you're telling me the Jaguars are going to be that much of an improved team to beat the Colts, who have a well above average defense, and their offense is going to be pretty dang good this year with Matt Ryan and all the weapons that they have. I think they have the best running back in the NFL. They've got a great quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback now. You've got great receiving weapons, and their defense is great. And you're telling me the Jags are going to be able to beat them? I get they're playing in home, but I can see them getting through the Commanders, but that's about it. I don't see them getting through the Colts. The Chargers in week 3, dude, that's near impossibility. And then the Eagles in week 4, another near impossibility. We'll see how the Eagles look this weekend against the Detroit Lions. I think this is going to be a great test for the Eagles week 1 because the Lions are ascending so much and they have such a great supporting cast. They have a few weaknesses on defense. We'll see if the Eagles can exploit that. If they can, and the Eagles can get a win, get on the board. We'll see how good they look because their defense is really good, man. They've signed some great D-line, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, linebackers. I mean, their D-line is great. Their linebackers are solid. Their secondary is good. They brought in like 2 or 3 elite defensive backs. Plus, they already had like Darius Slay, who's one of the best corners in the league. So the Eagles' defense is the real deal. So this is a great test. One of my favorite matchups to honestly watch this weekend is the Lions because of how much steam they've been building up between the way they finished the season last year, their off season, the whole Hard Knocks experience. And man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. So massive test for the Eagles here, week 1. Kind of like the illusions. Steve likes the illusions. Well, I mean, are you talking about the new ones or like older ones? Because I do like the new ones that have that gold year 1 logo at the top. I think those are pretty cool, man. Those look pretty cool if you look at those. And from what I've seen so far, those 2022 illusions are selling pretty good. I am not a fan personally of like the older illusions. I don't know. It's something about. Okay, I'm thinking of Luminance. Not my bad, man. I'm my bad. Now, Illusions does have a lot of that like Flair showcase feel to it from the late 90s. I do think Illusions look pretty cool, especially if you get the hobby Illusions that have the thicker card stock. Those are nice, and it has that gold trim around the bottom. The hobby Illusions are nice. I wonder what it's just that's another set that doesn't do great. Now, if you're talking about getting it, see, there's the hobby gold thick base rookie. I mean, and so you could look at this card as being comparable to an optic or a prism in terms of like just quality and scarcity, that being an only hobby only product. But I mean, and it's got a nice design, nice trim, nice quality here. Rookie card shield, but the card only going for $5. So I think it's a great collector's card. But if I'm looking at it from an investment perspective, it's tough for me to really sink a bunch of money into Illusions. It just doesn't have that same, unless it's rare, right? Unless it's rare, unless it's got some nice qualities like serial number, autograph, Barry Sanders numbered out of 10, veteran Barry Sanders there in a college uniform going for 35. That's still pretty cheap, and that's not bad right there, man. I do like that portrait in the background though. That's nice. That's nice. Chris K. Oh, my shoes. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Joseph, we absolutely sure do, man. Check it out. It's in the description, www.patreon.com/footballcards. All of our membership tiers come with full Discord access. We've got like 20 different channels in there, dude. We were in there all night long last night. There's some guys that don't sleep. They just hang out on on eBay or doing some NFL betting, some NFL gambling. Like I had a question in the Discord. I think it was Gas. Yeah, Gas wants to know what my favorite bet is of the year. I'll give you my favorite bet from this weekend. I'll give you my favorite bet. We'll go to Vegas Insider and we'll give you my favorite bet for this weekend. Let's see. Matchups. What do I get? Yeah, here we go. Well, I think that the Saints shouldn't have any problem beating the Falcons this weekend. Neither San Fran shouldn't have any problem against the Bears, but it's an interesting matchup. Steelers, Bengals. That one's going to be fun to watch. Eagles, Lions. Man, watch out, guys. Look how close this is, man. This is a really close game. The Eagle 48.5. The Eagles are only 4-point favorites. Whew. This is close. Actually, the open was 3.5. Now 4 points. Man, so close, so close. Don't be shocked there, filthy Eagles fans, if the Lions upset the Eagles. This is in Detroit. Patriots, Dolphins. Love to hear who you guys have in that game. Ravens, Jets. Dude, watch out. Joe Flacco's starting this weekend for the Jets. And, I mean, I would not be surprised at all if he gashes up his old team. His old team, man. See, this is a close game, but such a low over-under 44. But you've got a 3-point game. Very close. Very close there. Browns, Panthers. I mean, how do you not bet on the Panthers in this game? Look at that. A lot of people are, in fact, betting on the Panthers in this game. Money line, 85% Panthers. 76% of the bets are on the Panthers in this game. And the Browns, Cleveland Browns are currently, I don't know what this PK is. I'm not a super sharp better guy or anything like that. I'm not gonna claim that I know a lot about that. So I don't know what that PK. Maybe they're even now, but I could see where it opened that the Browns were 3.5-point favorites. So, and this line has gone down. So the move would have been to bet on the Panthers as soon as this bet opened up, right? Because I do think this is a smash spot here for what happens if I click on consensus? Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know I could. Oh, okay, I was about to say I didn't know I could get all this information for free on here. Yeah, have to unlock it. I don't know. That's one of my favorite bets, the Panthers, but I see a lot of people putting their money on that. I definitely would take some bets on the Lions beating the Eagles. This one right here, Chiefs, Cardinals, that's got to be the Chiefs, in my opinion. Texans, Colts, no way. Got to go Colts in that game. A lot of people are wanting to bet that money line, though. That's interesting. Look at the odds, man. If you were to bet on the Texans in that game, big spread there. Ooh, Chargers, Raiders, man. This is going to be a heater right here. Definitely excited about this game. Wrote up a player from this game, my Auction Sniper article this morning. Oh, man, if you got Gabe Davis and you want to sell high, I mean, that's the advantage. If you want to do an auction, I would end your auction, time it for the next game. Time it when the next game starts, right? Try and capitalize on the peak hype. But I would ultimately recommend that you just do a buy it now transaction, right? Just do a buy it now listing, man. Look at what kind of Gabe Davis card you have. What is that card currently selling for? And list yours like 20% higher, depending on what you bought into it at. List it in a buy it now transaction. Let it sit, man. Let it sit. When you sell it, you sell it. but ultimately it's about making that profit that you want to make on it. Like I've actually got some Gabe Davis cards over here, but they're just like base cards. I sold my rookie ticket autos and all that kind of stuff in the playoffs last year whenever he had that big game. But look, I've got Gabe Davis mosaics right here. So this is something that I'll list on eBay, but I'm going to probably put these up in $5 buy it now transaction, plain white envelope. These were cards that I got for $1 or less from Beckett Marketplace, like in his rookie season. And I haven't listed them. I've got a ton of base mosaic cards because I bought a lot of them in 2020, man. To be honest with you guys, look, got a ton of base mosaic cards. There's a lot of Tyler Johnsons and stuff. But I think I got some more Gabe Davises over here. But the strategy there is just to list those like quantity. You don't have to don't do a bunch of listings. You do one listing and list that you've got quantity 10 in the listing. And so that way it helps you like offer people volume discounts. It also helps you consolidate shipping. So when you're doing that listing, just do one listing, one card. I did this with a bunch of Prism draft picks, Marcus Mariota rookie cards that I recently sold. I've done this with Drew Brees, 2006 Bowman Chrome, the first year he was on the Saints. I've done this with a bunch of different guys. I did it with Brady, like veteran Brady cards I have, base card, any base card that I bought, and I've got like a stack of them. I do one listing. You don't want to like spam eBay with a ton of different listings for one card. And then it makes it harder for you to consolidate the shipping and to make it advantageous for that buyer to buy more from you and make it easy on you to not have to like go and refund shipping here and do all this and move all this stuff around. Just do one listing. And when you get down there at the bottom, it has a quantity thing. Put in your quantity and it'll off to the side. Each additional item purchase, how much is the shipping? Like after the first item, like no, give them free shipping, because I can consolidate a few of these mosaics. I can consolidate like 4 or 5 mosaics into one plain white envelope for less than $1. Send that out, overhead super low if they're buying higher cards. Now, like if I'm not listing like multiple rookie ticket autos in one listing of like a guy that's mainstream, right? I would do it if I had a bunch of them that were like I'm trying to sell for like $10-15 maybe. It's really that in that like base tier where I'm trying to use a plain white envelope and I have a bunch of something, and that's where it really works well, really fits in well. And just do that. List them in a buy it now. Getting a $5 for a base mosaic card on Gabe Davis is fantastic. You're never going to get 10, 15, 20. I can't even get $20 for a Joe Burrow base mosaic, a raw base mosaic. Like it took him going to the Super Bowl for me to get $20 for a base mosaic Joe Burrow. That's just how much they printed of that card. That's just the desirability of that card is not there. It's like a base Illusions or a base Luminance. It's like a base card from a lesser desirable set that it's just going to be incredibly hard for it to ever get up to like a level where you're selling it in a bubble mailer. You know what I'm saying? But you can sell these all day. Somebody that wants to just get in and wants to only spend a couple bucks, $5, plain white envelope, boom, you got you a licensed rookie card logo there of Gabe Davis. And I'll be happy to do that, man, because it's, that's about moving the volume. And hopefully that kind of builds that relationship with the buyer. Now maybe they want to buy more from me. Like I had a guy the other day that bought like 4 cards. And one of them was a really base card. The other one was a Prism. The other one was like a Select. He bought a few, like 4 or 5 base cards, and the total ended up being like $40. But I sent everything out in one plain white envelope, and I only spent $1 on the shipping. So it was a fantastic transaction for me. And I think it all started out with one base card that he saw that I had listed pretty low in my store. So Paul Pagoda, what's going on, man? Devonta Smith seems undervalued to me. He should get a lot of targets this season with A.J. Brown added to the Eagles. Can't wait for that Eagles. Yeah, man. Well, we just talked about that. The matchup against the Lions this weekend. I think Devonta Smith is somewhat – that's tough for me because you have a clear alpha on that team in A.J. Brown, right? And we already know it's a run-heavy team. So your expectations for Devonta Smith, I think, have got to just be like tempered a little bit, dude. Now there's a potential if you can find rookie ticket autos for Devonta Smith of $20 or less, absolutely smash the buy button. But if they're more than that, like you want to make sure that you comp out Devonta Smith to like Elijah Moore, comp them out to some of the other 2021 guys and see what they're going for. Let me see what I'm doing here. Multitasking, and yeah, I was wanting to pull up the 2021 comp. Is this it? Here we go. Is this it? No, that's the 2022. Uno momento. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Without having to really. There we go. Found it. This is what I wanted to look at. All right. That's what I wanted to look at because, all right, here we go. Last time I checked, and we just did this 2 weeks ago, so we'll go and pull up and see what they're at now real quick. But last time I checked, you got a guy like Rashad Bateman, who's a wide receiver 1 on his team, going for $39. Silver Prism, rookie ticket auto. Devonta Smith going for $60. Same price as Elijah Moore. Slightly above Amon-Ra St. Brown. Slightly above Travis Etienne. But look, half of Jalen Waddle on like, a fraction of Jamar Smith with Jamar Smith. Dude, Devonta Smith, more coffee. Javonte Williams going for 60 and Josh Palmer going for 35. So the way I look at it now is that Devonta Smith at 60, he's going to really need like an A.J. Brown injury, or he's going to really need to get some targets and exceed expectations, because you also have Dallas Goedert, who is a primary receiving threat in that offense. And so I'm kind of looking at Devonta Smith as a potential wide receiver 2/3 in that offense. And I'm not sure that he's going to have like a massive season, right? I mean, I think you've got to temper expectations. Like there's going to be spike games, and maybe if he's going that undervalued right now because of all the hype focused on Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, then I would say, okay, now all of a sudden we're talking. So let's kind of look here and see what we got. Contenders Optic rookie ticket auto. That's not bad. It's not bad. We could see him have kind of like a Gabe Davis role, but they just don't throw the ball that much. And we don't know that Jalen Hurts is going to be that good of a passer. So from that standpoint, I would expect these to kind of cool off even a little bit more. And honestly, I would tell you that I'm going to wait and buy into Devonta Smith later in the season for a potential playoff push from the Eagles. Let's see how the Eagles start off their season here, especially against the Lions in week 1. Let's see how Jalen Hurts looks. I know Devonta Smith is going to be on the field a lot, right? He's going to be on the field a lot in 2 wide receiver sets. But let's see how much they run it versus pass it. Let's see how Jalen Hurts looks in the passing game. And let's see what the usage looks like before you buy in, because these prices are not anywhere near as low as they could get. They're kind of being buoyed based on his performance last year and the fact he went to Alabama and he was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he does have significant draft capital behind him. All those factors are kind of buoying his card values, but he could quickly become a wide receiver 30 in the league. And if the Eagles lose at all, I mean, you're going to see these cards kind of fall off as focus is shifted away. There you go. Oh yeah, sold some barf. I mean, golf carts last night. Interesting. So the hype is picking up for the Lions and Jared Goff. We gotta do a quick keep him analysis on Jared Goff here. I'm curious to see what his cards are now at. I also did manage to buy a Jared Goff Prism because I think they're interesting. I just want to see if there's any movement really on a PSA 10, a 9. Still super low, man. But I'm sure there's some upward, like this $100 transaction September 4th is pretty good considering like August 31st, the auctions were selling for about 60, you know? So there's one that ended Sunday. That was a little bit better for 102. So they're kind of bouncing back and forth. Buy it now for 60. So these guys, I think that got in at 60 on PSA 10 Prism Jared Goff cards are going to be sitting really good. I think they're going to be sitting really good to make some nice profit. We'll see. Week 1, big matchup, man. Big matchup. Sacron, hi. Headed to the Dallas show today. Is now the worst time to buy football? No, not necessarily, especially at shows. I mean, like a lot of people at shows are so focused on quarterback. I would attack the $5 bins. I would attack skill position guys that we consider sleepers. I mean, look at our favorite sleepers. Go watch the video I put up yesterday. Maybe they've got some new rookies out there that, you know, let's face it, a lot of these guys that shows, these big dealers, they don't like the NFL player pool is massive, right? And there's a lot of misconception around the amount of actual transactions that sell on a daily basis through eBay for skill position NFL players, even defensive players. You understand that because you're subscribed to the Quest and you're following everything that we're tracking here on eBay in the football card market, and all the sold data paints a different picture, paints a different story. So I would attack the $5 bins. I would attack that kind of range and see what kind of deals you can find on skill position guys. Make some cash offers on some sleepers that we like, and go from there, man. But I think that it's not the worst time. I think obviously, you know, like if you're looking at the hype index, you know, now is not a great time to buy Josh Allen. Prime example, man. No, don't go there trying to buy Josh Allen, Gabriel Davis, and Stefan Diggs card. Don't do that. That's not a good time to do that. But a lot of other guys, yeah, I think you can still find some deals potentially. Chris K said, is there a value difference in Chronicles, Prestige, Score, etc., and the norms? Absolutely, dude. Score is going to be at the bottom in there. Prestige on the rookie draft picks is nice because it does have pro key guys. Remember, again, look for the pro uniform logos. If they're in their college uniform, does it have a pro logo? Does it have a rookie card shield? Those things are very important to the resale value of that card. Look for that stuff. Prestige has those things, and so does Legacy. So Prestige and Legacy come out of Chronicles. So because of that, I like some Chronicles. They have a lot of interesting inserts in there, a lot of interesting little sets that do have rookie card logos and pro uniform elements or pro team logo elements. So I think those do pretty good, but Score is way down there for me. Yeah, man. Oh, okay. Josh Lennon say PK equals pick'em. I'm way behind in the chat. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you, man. Steve said about 6 Gabe Davis Prism, red, white, blue rookies for $6 for all. Very nice, dude. Red, white, and blue is one of the more common inserts or common parallels from Prism. But still, $6 for 6 of them, that's $1 a piece. That's easy profit because you can sell those for 5 to 10 in singles a piece right now. Nice. Yeah, list them in one listing, add volume, offer the consolidated shipping, maybe even a volume discount. Try and maximize, sell them for under 20, definitely, depending on what set they're from. You may have to go down as low as like 5 if they're mosaic. I do, Steve. Absolutely. Look at. There's absolutely opportunities to buy raw to grade. Look at like 2012, for example. Look at the population difference between Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. Look at some of these draft classes that have massive population differences between the graded and raw cards. And like if there's a guy that's ascending in that draft class that has a low population, then it absolutely makes sense to go out, buy his raw cards, submit them, especially when you look at the PSA graded pop report and you're like, okay, 50%, 60% of these cards for this player have comeback 10s. Now, it's still going to be about the same, right? I mean, yeah, they've got more cards going in. They've got new graders. The whole potential population control thing could be real, but it's not going to be on most 99% of cards. It's not going to be like what we saw with the Trevor Lawrence 2021 Prism, right? That is an anomaly that I think based on reading a lot of your guys' comments is just not going to happen. It's not going to happen very much. But here, let me show this to you. This is what I was looking for. So I was looking for. Well, this is just an example here. This is an example. All right, so this was an example I went through with Carter, 2013 draft class comping. I'm going to keep doing more of these because it's just such good information. Gives you really good intel. Like, look at the Keenan Allen pop report compared to DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce. And Keenan Allen's on the ascending team, the Chargers. Chargers could absolutely make a pretty good run this year. And Keenan Allen's, front and center for that. So, for example, do this with other draft classes, or stay tuned and you'll see me do this with other draft classes. But you look at the population difference and it's like, okay, let me go out and target Keenan Allen raw cards and send them in. And then look at the population from that set in general and see what's the percentage of Keenan Allen cards that were submitted getting 10s. I'll tell you, for example, 2013 Select Hot Rookies, they have like a 60 to 70% PSA Gem Mint 10 rate. That was a very good card with very little issues, very high gem rate. Something like this base Prism, maybe closer to 50%, but still, look at the population difference. There's a big opportunity there to buy raw and submit it at that $22 per card, get it come back at 10. Now all of a sudden, you're looking at 3, 4, 5x the value on that card. And if the player's in an ascending situation, you're getting that card back in time for the playoffs. That could be a big flip there, a big opportunity. Same thing with 2012. So I like doing this with Kirk Cousins. There's no reason why Kirk Cousins should have this low of a population compared to Ryan Tannehill. Kirk Cousins is an ascending quarterback at this point, whereas, like, dude, Malik Willis is chomping at Ryan Tannehill's heels. Ryan Tannehill's heels. And so, like, obviously the job is secure for Tannehill, but at some point down the stretch, if the Titans fall off this year, and they could absolutely want to see what they have in this rookie. Obviously, if Tannehill gets injured, then it's going to be the Malik Willis show. But if Tannehill falls off this year, people already have, that fan base already has a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth about Tannehill from the playoff loss, the turnovers that he threw in that game. So I'm just saying, like, a population difference like this is a writing on the wall for you to try and find Kirk Cousins rookies. And this is just another example, but you can see this in 2016, 2017, 2018. There's a lot of guys, skill position guys in 2017. Like, that's the next draft class I should do. Let's look at the population report between Christian McCaffrey. Like, let's just line them all up, man. Line them all up because there's so many good skill position players from 2017. Even 2014 too. There is a lot of raw potential out there to buy and sell, buy and get it graded and sell the 10s. Playoff rookie for like that. Playoff, yeah, playoff is another one of those lesser desirable sets, but getting it for $5, and I think that card should have a rookie card shield and everything, and it's from 2017, so now you're gone back a few years where cards are just inherently a little bit more scarce. That's definitely a solid buy, but man, his team, like, his cards are going to have difficulty going up at all in value if his team can't put together wins. He can play as good as he wants, but if the Rams don't get their act together, man, and maybe it's just the Bills are that freaking good, man, but Cooper Kupp can play really well, but if his team is just not on front page because they can't get their act together as a whole and they can't win games, then his values are gonna take a hit. It's not like he's a rookie and he's breaking out for the first time and we thought that he wasn't going to be anybody. We already know Cooper Kupp is really good. He was a Super Bowl MVP. So, and he's, like Cooper Kupp's not a spring chicken either, man. He's not obviously getting old, but he's in his late 20s. So it's not like we haven't seen him before and we don't know what he is or what his ceiling is. We know he's really good, but he's now like a part of the Rams Super Bowl team. Like his team has got to get back there for him to really, take a big increase in value. Bold take from Joseph here. Tannehill's about to go to the Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh boy, man. Oh boy. If that's the case, I mean, if he goes out there with no fear and starts slinging it, this is going to be really interesting, man. This is going to be such an exciting season. We are 10-17. Wow, guys, man. Time flies, and I'm hanging out with you guys in the morning. Go back and watch the beginning. We really did a deep dive on the Bills and the Rams usage and what their market is looking like after the game last night with some predictions and some takes. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream this morning. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We've got more videos coming out again before Sunday, so make sure you're subscribed. Stay tuned. And like I said, Joseph, you can check out that Discord server over at patreon.com/footballcards. Hop in, man. We're in there literally almost 24/7 because we love this stuff so much. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in that next video. Peace.